Let me ask you a question. Did you know that research suggests that up to 85% of our success is contributed to our attitude rather than our technical skills or knowledge? Now, this might make you wonder how much of our daily happiness and achievement could be shaped by simply adjusting our mindset. What role does attitude plays in how we approach the challenges and the opportunities that life throws our way? Do we walk around like we got a jacked up attitude, or do we walk in that place of the grace of God? You see, in the world, there are constant changes, and our perspective could be the key to unlock new possibilities. It's interesting to think about it, isn't it? By simply altering your attitude, you can change your actions, your response, and ultimately transform your life. You know, Paul, he tells us in Romans the 12th chapter, verse 2, he tells us, do not be conformed to the pattern of this world, but be transformed by the renewing of your mind. Then you will be able to test and prove what God's will is, his good and pleasing and perfect will. Now, our attitude is the lens through which we view the world. And it signifies, let me say it like this, it lays it out so clearly and shape our experience and our outcome in life. This mindset influences us, how we perceive challenges and react to setbacks and embrace opportunity. A positive attitude can turn obstacles into learning experiences and fuel energy that motivates and foster strength. On the other hand, a negative attitude can hinder progress. It can dampen enthusiasm and create self-imposed limitations. You see, it's those limitations that the enemy would like to tell you that this is somebody trying to block you out. Somebody is trying to stop you. And someone is trying to do this when it is that our thought life. So understanding the power of attitude is essential, as it can determine our level of success, happiness, and overall well-being. Our consciously cultivating a positive outlook, we can transform our actions, our response, and our life trajectory. You see, it's significant of the attitude lies in its abilities to shape not only our personal journey, but also leave an impact that we have around us. You see, people are gravitating to practices, principles, and patterns. And so negative attitude it hinder personal growth and happiness. Let me give you some common examples here. Being pessimistic. You see, a pessimistic attitude sees the glass empty rather than see it half full. This mindset can lead to missing opportunities. You know those times you missed those opportunities and you just went on out there and shouted out, I don't care. You see, as individuals may shy away from taking risks or pursuing their dreams due to fear of failure. Another one is blaming others. People who constantly blame others for their problems, avoid taking responsibility for their actions. This attitude prevents personal growth. It hinders the abilities to learn from mistakes and make positive changes. The next one is resentment and holding grudges. You see, the awesome thing about it is that when we hold grudges and have resentment in our heart, it hurts us more than it hurts anybody else. So holding on to the past grievance can weigh heavy on a person's emotional and well-being. Resentment can prevent forgiveness. It hinders relationships, and it leads to chronic stress and unhappiness. And the fourth one is self-doubt. You see, constantly doubting one's ability can create a self-fulfilled prophecy where people don't try their best because they believe they will fail. This lack of confidence can hinder both spiritual and let me back it up, both physical and professional growth. And in the spiritual life, that you just do enough to get by. You're not in that place that you're pushing the envelope because you want all that God has for you. Now the fifth one is fixed mindset. Believing that one's abilities and intelligence can prevent people from embracing challenges and learning new skills. You see, a fixed mindset can stifle creativity and limit personal development. In Proverbs, the 4th chapter, verse 23, it tells us very clearly, guard your heart above all else, for it determines the course of your life. Now the sixth one is negativity towards others. Criticizing and judging others can create an toxic environment and damage relationships. These negativities often stem from insecurity and can hinder one's ability to build meaningful connections. You see, when we build meaningful connections, we open ourselves for new opportunities. And if we open ourselves for new opportunities, we open ourselves for new victories. The seventh one is a victim mentality. Adapting to a victim mentality means seeing oneself as powerless and at the mercy of external circumstances. This attitude can prevent an individual from taking control of their lives and making positive change. And the eighth one is very simple. Putting off. In other words, procrastination. Putting off tasks that leads to missing opportunities and increased stress. You see, procrastination often stems from fear of failure. And it can hinder both the productivity and the personal growth. By recognizing and addressing these negative attitudes, an individual can work towards developing a more positive outcome, which can lead to an increase of happiness and strength and spiritual growth and personal growth. You see, the impact of that positive and negative attitude on the mental health and relationship and overall success is profound. Such as a positive attitude. It strengthens and it coats. In other words, an individual will with a positive attitude are better equipped to handle stress and setbacks. Let me give you an example. Someone who views challenges as an opportunity for growth is likely to bounce back more quicker from difficulty. Those difficult. You thought that you had me down. But if I keep my mind renewed according to the word of God, I'll see victory even when setbacks come. It also happiness and well-being. A positive outlook you may want to say, can lead to greater happiness and mental well-being. People who focus on the good in their lives practice gratitude and engage positively and self-talk often experience low level of anxiety and depression. You said, Apostle Leah, you don't see all the stuff that we have to go through. But there's a supply of God to take you through it. Take you through it. You see, a negative attitude increases stress. A negative attitude can lead to chronic stress and anxiety. For example, someone who's constantly worrying about the worst case scenario may experience hikes in stress level, affect their mental health. But if we keep ourselves on the positive edge, there's a supply of grace will come, and even in the worst case, you see the glory. Because now faith is the substance of the things hoped for, and the evidence of the things not seen. So we're not focusing on that which is in the natural, because we are taking hold of what Paul said in Romans the 12th chapter. Look unto Jesus, who's the author and the finisher of our faith. So who are you looking at? Positive attitude motivates and perseveres. A positive attitude, it fuels encouragement and motivation and perseverance. For example, an entrepreneur who views failures as learning experience is more likely to keep trying until he succeeds. You see, people with a positive outcome are more likely to seize opportunities and take risks, because they believe in their potentials to achieve their goal and lead to greater success in their personal and professional life, and even in their spiritual life. They're not sitting there dwelling on that what was. They're holding fast to the plan of God. They're determined that I'm coming out of this and I'm going to show that the glory of God will be revealed. Let me give you an example. Imagine two colleagues. Let's say Lisa and